Hi, my name is Vikas. I represent Insignia Overseas, one of the leading IELTS institutes in Kurukshetra. And today we have Shrishti, one of our students who scored a 7 band in IELTS speaking. What we're trying to depict here is that despite having a lot of grammatical errors, which are obviously not recommended, she still managed to get a 7 band. So it's not only about one band descriptor, it's the combination of all. So let's watch it. Hi, this is your IELTS speaking test. My name is Vikas Sharma. I'm going to be your IELTS test examiner today. This test is being conducted in Kurukshetra. The center number is 1934 and the candidate name is Shrishti. So, Shrishti, can I see your ID, please?
Yes, of course. Here it is.
Thank you. And may I know your full name?
My full name is Shrishti Sharma.
Thank you. Shrishti, in this first round, I am going to be asking you some questions about yourself. So, where are you from?
I am from Kurukshetra, which is very famous for its heritage. Apart from that, I am living here since from my childhood.
Right, and would you say that it's an interesting place to live?
Yes, of course it is. As Kurukshetra is very popular destination, majority of people all around the world come here and see the popularity as well as in terms of spirituality, and when they have to get some kind of peace, so they usually visit this place. Apart from that, this place has cool history, like in Mahabharata, which is famous book in Hinduism. This is the place where the war between two parties held.
Okay, and do you plan to live there in future as well?
Well, these days I am preparing for my IELTS, so I have basically I get to live in abroad for my study purposes. Yeah.
Okay, and what do you like the best about this place?
Uh, if I have to pick one, I will surely go forward for the peace of mind, as well as there is a lot of temples and gurus who are available who usually nurture you, and whenever you need a guidance, so they usually provide you. Apart from that, this place is full of basic facilities, as well as you can even find the advanced. The infrastructure is quite good and the people are so amenable here.
How has this place changed over the years?
A drastic change could be observed, to be honest. In past, there is a less population, as well as the area is not that much developed. If I talk about these days, we have a lot of things we can see, like different kind of buildings and infrastructure, and there are a lot of facilities like transportation system is getting better day by day. And I heard from my father that government is planning to building a airport here, as it is a tourist destination.
Let's talk about what you do in the evening.
Okay.
So, what do you usually do in the evening?
Well, it depends on situation. As these days I am a student or I am engaging in some organization, I usually work. Whenever I get free time, so I usually come back to my home and spend my entire day with my family. And I have a dog at home. We usually call him Simba. So I spend my majority of time with him, with playing.
Right, and do you like mornings or evenings more?
Well, I'm a lazy person. I love to sleep because I don't have that much time in the mornings. For that purpose, I usually sleep late at night. For that, I prefer the evenings, in which my all members are together and we have chit chat. We usually eat snacks and dinner as well.
So, what did you do in the evenings when you were a child?
I usually went for playing with my friends. There is a no park, I remember that near my home. So we have to play on the street, narrow roads that are quite safe. Yeah, that was the time I usually play with my friends. And these days I have loved to spend my time at home with my dog or with my cell phone.
Do you like eating street food?
Of course, yes. I am a foodie person. I don't have a sweet tooth, but still I love to eat spicy food. Chinese is my favorite. Apart from that, I can go forward with the South Indian food as well as Chinese is for sure.
And do you enjoy eating street food?
As I already mentioned, of course, yes. What comes in my mind, someone even say about the street food, I usually get a lot of varieties in my mind related to the different kind of cuisines, right? Apart from that, More than even a homemade food, I usually go forward with the snacks like Lays and all kind of things, but I usually prefer to eat junk food from outside.
Right. Shrishti, in this second round, I am going to giving you a topic to speak on. You have to speak on this topic for 1 to 2 minutes, and I am going to provide you a paper and pencil to make notes if you wish to,
Okay.
and do not bother if I interrupt. Do you
Okay.
understand?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Here is your paper, and here it is the topic you have to speak on, and your time starts now. Well, you have to talk about a time when you were stuck in a traffic jam.
Well, I love to do travel. Majority of the time, I found myself outside my home with my family and friends. Here, I would like to talk about a time when I usually stuck in a traffic jam. A couple of weeks ago, when I and my family planned for a trip to Delhi, as there is a festival or some kind of marriage in our home. For that purpose, we have to commute to Delhi. We usually prefer the morning because there is no traffic, or you will find the rush hours. But due to some unwanted work, my father had to went out of the city, so we have to commute with him. So near about 11, we left our home with some kind of snacks and our important documents. Apart from that, when I reached the Delhi, there is a lot of things like we are talking about. But when we entered the Delhi near the bypass, we stuck at the traffic jam, because the reason behind is that there is a single line, because the other road is on construction. For that purpose, the road is moving too slow, and it will take near about 6 hours, because the usually that from that place we take near about 2 hours to complete the our way, but that day we near about spend our 6 hours. I feel so monotonous because sitting in a particular car is such a headache, and that was such a challenging hours for me.
Thank you so much. You can stop talking now. In this last round, I am going to be asking you some general questions about this topic. So, you spoke about the time when you were stuck in a traffic jam. Do you remember any other time when you were stuck in a traffic jam?
Well, I have a blurred memory. So, walking in the memory lane, near about when I was 8 years old, I remember that I was on a train. There was some person who came to visit us, or they was just about to pick us. So that was time we stuck in a car. That I remember the car is Alto. So that was a kind of congested area for me, and I feel so suffocation. For that purpose, I start vomiting in the car. Yeah, so that was the time I usually stuck in a car rather than this.
When do traffic jams usually happen?
Well, it's hard to journalize when people don't follow the rules. I can say that, or either when there is a hustle bustle on the roads, like in morning when majority of people have their working hours on their head, or they usually went there. So there can be, we can also find the rush hours. There is a lot of rush on the roads. Apart from that, there is a another reason could be people are very easy to buy a car these days, like on EMI. It is very easy to buy a car. Majority of individuals have their personal vehicle, so that could be the reason that there is a reason behind a lot of cars on the road.
Well, thank you. In this last round, I am going to be asking you some questions about, some general questions about the topic you spoke on. So, apart from the time you spoke about when you were stuck in a traffic jam, Do you remember any other time when you were in a jam?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I have a blurred memory. I didn't remember any kind of incident in my life. But still, a couple of years ago, I was traveling with my mom on an auto rickshaw. That was the time I stuck in a traffic jam due to an accident on the road. That was a kind of
Why do traffic jams happen?
there could be several reasons for this. Like sometimes there is a road that will be under construction, or apart from that, there could be brutal accident on the road that will lead to a construction on the road. This could be the reason. Apart from that, there is a lot of vehicles. Like majority of people have work in the morning as well as when they came back to their work. So these time of period we can say that are usually in rush.
And how often do traffic jams happen in your own city?
Well, frankly speaking, I see a lot of things that these days are quite often. Whenever I have to visit outside, there is a lot of vehicles on the road for that, which leads to congestion on the road. Yes, in my city, these with the passage of time, the population is getting on the peak, as well as every individual have their own car. So that is the reason that in my city, traffic is on the high.
Do people usually follow traffic rules in your country?
Well, I would say yes and no both. In big cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, there are strict rules rather than if I compare these kind of cities to Kurukshetra or any other small city. People are very lenient and careless about the following rule
Why?
because there is a no traffic police present at that time,
Why?
or they are not aware, because people are not aware and they didn't consider it's a responsibility. Near about one month ago, I heard that there is a lot of complaints on people are not wearing the helmets, and they have committed a lot of accidents on the road, and a lot of people lost their life in that.
So, what happens if a person parks his or her vehicle at the wrong place in your country?
Uh, well, there is a rule on that. If they are parking or they are just putting their car or bike on a wrong place, that is no parking. After seeing the no parking board there, so usually police grab that vehicle and just put them a penalty on them. In first warning, there should be some lenient, but if you are doing again and again, so they will probably fine you a very hefty amount.
Okay, okay. And do you follow traffic rules?
Of course, yes. When I have to stop on a red light, I surely go. Apart from that, I usually wear when I have to drive. I usually put a seat belt when I drive the car. Rather than that, I make sure that I have all the documents that is necessary while driving. I usually avoid using phone or listening to the music whenever I go for outing.
Thank you so much, Srishti. That's the end of your IELTS speaking test. Thank you.